Welcome back to Architectural Adventures, brought to you by Historic Springfield Society. I'm your host, Kylie. Thanks for joining me as we tour Springfield's architectural curiosities. And welcome to my porch. We have survived the dog days of summer, and thankfully we have much cooler weather. Of course, in Florida, that means about 90-degree weather instead of 100-degree weather, but we'll take what we can get. If you're a Springfield resident, then you are fortunate enough to be privileged to have a front porch to shield yourself from that severe summer sun. And what better way to celebrate the summer than a nice cold glass of lemonade? To me, there is nothing more quintessential Springfield than a shady front porch and an ice cold lemonade. Let me take a sip of this. Instant relief. That's so delicious. So today, I thought that we would talk about the origins of Haint blue and the myth and the legend of it. So if you've walked around any historic neighborhood, including Springfield, you may have noticed that there are front porches where the ceiling is painted this blue-green shade, even if that color doesn't appear anywhere else on the house. Colloquially, this color is referred to as Haint blue, and it is a Southern tradition. But where did this color begin? Well, we'll have to go back to Africa for the origins. So the color in America has been around for approximately 200 years, but it actually has been around much longer than that. And we can attribute the color to the Gullah Geechee people. Now, the Gullah Geechee people were slaves in America that were brought to America during the transatlantic slave trade, and they brought many of their customs with them, one of them being Haint blue. Now, at the time, a big cash crop in the Low Country was indigo, and indigo was used in the original formula for this color. So a Haint was an evil spirit that needed to be warded off, and legend has it that this spirit could not cross water. And so this blue color emulated water, and the spirit was unable to cross it. So the legend has it that porch ceilings, doors, and even windows and sills were painted this Haint blue hue to prevent the spirit from accessing the area and for protection. And from there, this myth and legend grew. And by the late 19th century, you begin to see this Haint blue used all throughout the southern United States. And along with this tradition that was brought by the Gullah Geechee people, you also began to have this myth come about that this color actually prevented pests from building their nests, such as those notorious mud daubers, which if you have ever dealt with them, they are not pleasant to deal with. And I am speaking from experience here. So the legend began that this Haint blue actually emulated the sky, and that these insects and spiders and all of these bugs would avoid building their nests and settling and messing up porch ceilings. Now, there is actually a bit of truth to this myth, and it all stems back to how paint used to be made historically. Now, historically, paint was made with a mixture of lime. Now, of course, we no longer use lime in that formula, but lime in old paint formulas actually did have a pest repellent quality to it. So there is a smidge of truth to the old Haint blue formula keeping bugs away from porch ceilings. Now, of course, our modern paint formulas don't contain lime. So if you see Haint blue today on a porch ceiling, then it's going to be purely for the legend that we talked about earlier of warding away evil spirits, or just for aesthetic purposes. And of course, if you're like me, anything aqua or turquoise, I'm all for it. And as you can see, my entire porch has this accent color, and I can tell you from experience that it no longer keeps away any pests or mud daubers or spiders or anything of the sort. But it is pretty to look at, and at least it does give you that illusion of coolness on a 90 or 100-degree Florida day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time on Architectural Adventures. Now I'm going to have some of this nice, cool lemonade.